All right, the warmest day we're going to see around here for several days. 64 degrees, our high temperature. Overnight low last night, maybe you noticed, was very mild at 47 degrees. That is a record high minimum temperature versus a low minimum temperature that we usually talk about, like the coldest it's ever been on that date. In contrast, the high minimum means it's the warmest the overnight temperature has ever been on April 27th, beating the previous record of 44 degrees, which dates back to 1946. And we talk about it all the time. The wind blowing through the night, keeping the atmosphere well mixed, not letting that cold air sink down to the surface. And that's exactly what happened last night. And boy, we've been dry around here for it seems like most of March and most of April, but we're still hanging in there above average on the calendar year. All right, today's temperatures statewide: 77 Sedona, Prescott 75 for a high today, 72 in Payson, 78 degrees in Winslow. As I mentioned, it looks like these are the warmest temperatures we're going to see for several days before we get back into some warm temperatures. All right, a very disorganized mess of a storm system moving into the western United States, bringing snow to the Rockies throughout the day today. We still have an area of low pressure that's in the developmental stages that we can't even pick out on here. It's going to develop in the Great Basin throughout the night tonight and drag a cold front across Arizona throughout the night tonight and through the day tomorrow. So we're going to be much cooler around here the next couple days as some cooler air makes its way in Arizona. How about the moisture, the precipitation? Well, that looks like it's going to be confined to the far northern border and also across our eastern border as well. Tomorrow along the cold front, looks like some decent rainfall down along the eastern Mogollon Rim into the White Mountains and a little bit of rain up towards Page. Saturday, some spotty showers behind the cold front right along the Arizona-New Mexico border. So no moisture in the cards for most of us with this storm system as it moves through. Just more dry, cool, and breezy conditions as the storm system moves in. And this green area I kind of outlined here, that's where the moisture is going to be confined with this spring storm system. But high pressure building in off the Pacific, this is going to bring us more warm and tranquil weather by the time we get into the late weekend and going into next week. All right, we go to the Western Region homepage of the National Weather Service just to take a look at the advisories going on with this latest storm system. Here in Arizona, all these pink areas, Yavapai County, down across south central and southern Arizona, that's a red flag warning through the day tomorrow. Fire danger picking up due to the winds and the fuels drying out there. Flagstaff, we're just out of any type of warnings, but obviously still be careful. It will be a windy day out there. All the blues in New Mexico and extending into eastern Colorado, that's winter weather advisories, and the pinks, winter storm warnings, and the blues all the way up into the Rocky Mountains of Wyoming. Snow coming down still here in April. Here's a current look at the temperatures and the Intermountain West here where these cool temperatures are. 50 right now in Salt Lake City, 50 in Denver. That's some of the cold air making its way towards us. We're still on the warm side of this developing storm system. Currently outside right now, looking up LaRue Street, camera blowing around, 57 degrees, winds out of the west, gusting to 35 miles per hour. All right, overnight tonight for us, partly cloudy skies. We remain breezy, but with the cooler air starting to funnel in, I don't think the breeze is going to be enough to give us another one of those high minimum temperature type nights. So forecasting 33 degrees despite the wind, 53 tomorrow, about 5 or 10 degrees cooler than where we were today, and it will be breezy. So kind of a blustery, chilly spring Friday for us here in Flagstaff. Take a look at the temperatures statewide. Sedona 68, Prescott 64, 69 in Payson. The cold front really doesn't make its way down to the south central deserts. As you see, Phoenix temperature very minimally impacted here with a high temperature for their Friday of 88 degrees. We'll remain cool as we get into Saturday, still under the influence of that cold front. 53 is a high temperature for us here in Flagstaff. And then, as I talked about, high pressure builds in here late in the weekend, and we start to warm things up going into early next week. And next week looks like a pretty pleasant weather week, not a lot of wind and some very mild temperatures. So that we have that to look forward to and just a couple cool days to get by here.